Madlang people, listen. I want to tell you a story. It's a story about pain. A pain so deep it felt like my soul was being ripped apart, piece by piece. Imagine dedicating your entire world to one person. You give them your mornings, your nights, your laughter, and even your silence. You build dreams with them, painting a future where it's just you and them against the world. You believe in the one. You believe in forever. You believe in the fairy tale because, for a moment, you were living in it. You thought this was it, the final destination of your heart's long journey. Then one day, the world you built crumbles. It doesn't just crack, it explodes. The person you trusted with your entire being, the one who held your heart in their hands, is the same person who crushes it without a second thought. The betrayal hits you like a speeding truck. The shock is so intense, you can't even cry at first. You just sit there, numb, replaying every moment, every promise, every I love you. You ask yourself, was any of it real? The anger that follows is a raging fire, burning everything in its path, especially the memories you once cherished. The devastation is not just emotional, it's physical. You feel it in your chest, a constant, heavy weight that makes it hard to breathe. You lose your appetite, you lose sleep. Every corner of your home, every song on the radio, every little thing reminds you of them, of the lie you were living. You feel so small, so foolish, so incredibly stupid for believing. You look at yourself in the mirror and you don't recognize the person staring back. Who is this broken, angry, and lost soul? This wasn't me. This wasn't the strong, confident person I thought I was. The pain becomes your constant companion. It wakes you up in the morning and tucks you in at night. You try to reason with it, to understand why it happened. You blame yourself. Maybe I wasn't enough? Maybe I did something wrong? Then you blame them for their selfishness, their deceit, their cowardice. This cycle of anger and self-pity is exhausting. You are drowning in a sea of your own tears and frustrations. You scream into your pillow, hoping to release the agony, but it just echoes back, reminding you of how alone you truly are in this mess. I used to be a firm believer in monogamy. Oh yes, I championed it. I preached about finding that one special person, your soulmate, your caveat. I thought it was the purest form of love. The idea of dedicating yourself to one partner, building a life together and being faithful through thick and thin. It was the ultimate relationship goal. It's what we see in movies, what we read in books, and what society tells us is the right way to love. I drank that Kool-Aid, and for a while, it tasted sweet. I was so sure that this was the only path to true happiness. But my experience, my painful, gut-wrenching experience, shattered that belief into a million tiny pieces. It was like waking up from a beautiful dream, only to find yourself in a cold, harsh reality. The concept of the one suddenly seemed like a cruel joke. How can you pour all your love, trust, and loyalty into a single vessel, only for that vessel to prove it was cracked all along? The promise of exclusivity and lifelong commitment became a weapon used against me. It was the very foundation of my pain, because the expectation of complete faithfulness was what made the betrayal so catastrophic. Monogamy started to feel like a prison, a beautiful, gilded cage that we willingly lock ourselves into. We give the key to one person, trusting them completely, not to abuse that power. But what happens when they do? What happens when they use that key to lock you in while they roam free? The system is flawed. It places an immense amount of pressure on two people to be everything for each other, forever. It doesn't account for human nature, for change, for the simple fact that people can be weak and selfish. For me, monogamy is dead. It's a relic of a bygone era, an ideal that no longer serves me. The idea of loyalty in that traditional sense now feels hollow. Why should I be loyal to a concept that brought me so much suffering? Why should I limit my capacity to love and be loved based on an outdated social contract? The pain taught me a valuable lesson. Banking your entire emotional well-being on one person is a high-risk investment, and when it goes bad, you lose everything. You are left emotionally bankrupt. I refuse to be in that position ever again. The rules of the game were broken, so I decided to stop playing by them. From the ashes of my heartbreak, a new me began to emerge. It was a slow and difficult process, like a phoenix learning to fly again. At first, I was just numb. I thought I would never love again. But then, something shifted. The anger that was consuming me started to transform into fuel. It became a source of strength. I looked at my broken heart not as a weakness, but as a battle scar, a testament to the fact that I loved deeply and survived the war. I decided that I would never let one person have that much power over me again. This is where my perspective on relationships began to change dramatically. If putting all my eggs in one basket was the problem, then the solution was simple: get more baskets. The idea of polygamy, or more accurately, polyamory, started to make sense. It wasn't about revenge, not really. It was about protection. It was about diversifying my emotional portfolio. If you have multiple sources of love and affection, the betrayal of one person doesn't lead to complete collapse. It will still hurt, of course, but it won't obliterate your entire world. It's a safety net, woven from multiple connections. I started to see love not as a finite resource to be given to only one, but as an infinite energy that can be shared. Why must we limit ourselves? Why does loving one person mean you cannot care deeply for another? This new mindset was liberating. It was like I had been living life in black and white, and suddenly, I could see in full, vibrant color. It allowed me to connect with people on different levels, appreciating each relationship for what it uniquely offered. One person might provide intellectual stimulation, another emotional comfort, and another a sense of adventure. This shift brought back my confidence. I was no longer a victim of love. I was in control of my own heart. To my ex, I'm sure this is a shock. They probably expected me to be miserable forever. But darling, you didn't break me. You unleashed me. You thought you were my world, but you were just one chapter. And now I am writing the rest of the book, and it's filled with exciting new characters. I am stronger, bolder, and more unapologetically myself than ever before. My capacity for love didn't shrink, it expanded. So, here is my new philosophy, my new commandment in love. It's born from pain, but it is not about bitterness. It is about wisdom and self-preservation. I no longer subscribe to the traditional rules of fidelity. Fidelity to one person, who may or may not be faithful in return? No, thank you. My loyalty is now to myself, to my peace, my happiness, and my emotional safety. I reject the idea that my worth is tied to my ability to keep one person satisfied. My worth is inherent, and I will share my love with those who respect and appreciate it, in whatever form that takes. My love life is now an open-ended story, not a pre-written script. I believe in honesty and transparency with everyone I am involved with. This isn't about cheating or deceit, it's the exact opposite. It's about being radically honest about your needs, desires, and capabilities. Everyone involved knows the situation. There are no hidden expectations, no false promises of an exclusive forever. It's a more ethical way to engage with people, treating them as adults who can make their own choices, rather than trapping them in a possessive model of love that so often leads to lies. Some people may call this selfish. They may say, I am running from true intimacy. But what is more intimate than being completely honest with your partners? What is more loving than wanting to protect your own heart so you can continue to give love freely? For me, this is the ultimate act of self-love. It's about creating a structure for relationships that is resilient, flexible, and sustainable for me. It's about building a community of love rather than a private kingdom for two. This way, the joy is multiplied and the sorrow is divided. So, to anyone who has been shattered by a broken promise, know this: you have the power to redefine the rules. You don't have to follow a path that led you to ruin. Your past pain can be the architect of your future strength. My new philosophy is simple: love abundantly. Love honestly. But most importantly, love yourself enough to never let one person be your everything ever again. Because you, my dear, are everything all on your own. And that is the greatest love story of all. Paghihiwalay.